Well, so we'll move on from drones, which we can't identify, to real ID, because of course that's the subject there is identifying people. And that's been the subject of some controversy. We have a couple of viewers who are concerned about that and are wondering how the whole thing's going to work out. Who would like to take a run at updating our viewers on where we stand and maybe whack at where we should perhaps wind up? Anybody?
Well, the House passed it, so it's
Yeah,
up to you
okay,
guys.
so we'll pick on the senators. Senator Schoen, I'm sorry, Senator Osmek, and then Senator Marty.
Well, the last time we had this on the floor last year, I wasn't a supporter of it. I still had I had concerns about the security of the non-real ID information. Through committee process and talking with the agency and understanding what their security protocols are, I'm very certain, and I work in that type of an industry, I work in the healthcare industry where you have PHI and PII information, that you have to keep it secure and keep it away from prying eyes that shouldn't get access to it. And that's what a lot of people are concerned about on my side of the political aisle is, if I don't want to get this, I don't want to have to get this and pay for it. So I'm very certain that the bill as it was written and it was brought to the floor of the Senate, I'm very certain that the security measures are in place. The agency knows what they're doing. They have security protocols actually at the user level to prevent unauthorized access, and that people will be given the choice. You can have a real ID, or you can have a non-real ID or an unreal ID, so to speak. And I think that's a good accommodation of both. I'll absolutely agree. The federal government did this at the dead of night with very little or no debate, and they slammed it onto states. And I understand that some people think that we should fight the feds. Well, guess what? We have people in January that are going to need to get onto airplanes, and we need to deal with this situation. And unfortunately, it stalled on the Senate floor. We are hopeful that we can maybe find the votes to move this forward. There were all but 5 Republicans voted for this. We didn't get it off the floor, but I'm hoping our Senator Marty and his DFL colleagues, before we're done, can get this done this session.
My first prediction is that it will pass. Something will pass this year on Real ID, and as you mentioned, there will be 2 choices. You can get the Real ID, or you can have the Unreal ID. I like that way of describing it. The Unreal ID, so people have a choice of it. I expect it to happen. There's disputes on several provisions. The one that I want to make sure it's a clean bill that is not addressing the immigrant driver's licenses. I support giving undocumented people driver's licenses. I think it's a matter of public safety. I think for police who stop somebody, know who it is. For all of our sake, to have people who are driving be insured and registered vehicles and licensed drivers, to me that's a public safety issue. But I want to make sure that that's treated separately. And Senator Dibble offered an amendment on the floor that died on a tie vote. That's where you get very close numbers sometimes in the Senate. Died on a tie vote that would have been the same bill that Senator Pratt brought to the Senate floor, but it took out all the language he had that was saying this could not be used in this way and cementing in place the provisions we have right now. I think we should leave that issue aside, deal with that separately, and I'm supporting a clean bill without that, and that's what died on a tie vote, and then the bill itself lost, the full bill, which was the same thing only with that other language in it, lost by 4 or 5 votes. I'm not sure how the compromise works out, how it plays out. That's just the Senate, and then the House has a different bill too, but I'll predict it will pass this year.
Representative Mahoney?
It's hard to add anything. I think some version of it will pass. I have the same concerns Senator Marty has. I want, if you're on the road and you're driving, I want you to have passed a test. I want you to have insurance. I want a police officer to be able to look at your ID and, okay, yes, this is a real ID or an unreal ID, whatever it might be, but that's you, and I can check this. So I suspect we'll get some version. Whether we'll get the version that Senator Pratt brought forth or not is a different story. I don't think we will.
Representatives and votes.
Well, I supported the bill, passed out of the House, and It gives both options. The individuals that are concerned about their privacy, they would be respected, and individuals that need to travel, whether it's on a plane or need to go to military bases, that's all part of our House bill, and I would hope that that would get passed. And when I think about the illegal immigrants getting access to IDs, I think about the fellow that assaulted the child up in Champlain Park here just this last week, and I think that that's a concern that people have of what are we opening ourselves up to, and is this really the appropriate bill to be attaching that issue to it? So I mean, those are some of my concerns, and would hope that we take a look at those later.